Well, this is a wonderful day.
Well, it's very exciting to come back from the White House, where President Barack Obama, what a wonderful thing to be able to say, but that he signed his first piece of legislation into law in this country, and that was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act. It was a very exciting surrounding. There were so many people there who have labored so long to get rid of this injustice, to stop employers from discriminating based upon gender on the pay that they give somebody for their day's work, and then to stand right behind the president and see him sign that legislation that I authored, that our committee reported out last year, that President Bush threatened to veto, and then we reported it out again this year, and to see the President of the United States sign that as a matter of fundamental American principles and values is very rewarding. I guess that's what makes public service great.
Now, Lilly Ledbetter did not set out to be a trailblazer or a household name. She was just a good hard worker who did her job, and she did it well for nearly 2 decades before discovering that for years she was paid less than her male colleagues for doing the very same work. Over the course of her career, she lost more than $200,000 in salary and even more in pension and Social Security benefits, losses that she still feels today. Now, Lilly could have accepted her lot and moved on. She could have decided that it wasn't worth the hassle and the harassment that would inevitably come with speaking up for what she deserved. But instead, she decided that there was a principle at stake, something worth fighting for. So she set out on a journey that would take more than 10 years, take her all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States, and lead to this day and this bill which will help others get the justice that she was denied.
I hired in with Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company in February 1979 as a supervisor. All I ever expected was to be treated fairly and equally and according to the law. I worked there for 19 years and 20 months, and I did not learn until late in my career, early 1998, that I was being paid so drastically less than the men doing exactly the same job.
Now, equal pay is by no means just a women's issue. It's a family issue. It's about parents who find themselves with less money for tuition and childcare, couples who wind up with less to retire on, households where one breadwinner is paid less than she deserves. That's the difference between affording the mortgage or not, between keeping the heat on or paying the doctor bills or not. And in this economy, when so many folks are already working harder for less and struggling to get by, the last thing they can afford is losing part of each month's paycheck to simple and plain discrimination. So signing this bill today is to send a clear message that making our economy work means making sure it works for everybody, that there are no second-class citizens in our workplaces, and that it's not just unfair and illegal, it's bad for business to pay somebody less because of their gender or their age or their race or their ethnicity, religion, or disability. And that justice isn't about some abstract legal theory or footnote in a casebook. It's about how our laws affect the daily lives and the daily realities of people, their ability to make a living and care for their families and achieve their goals. Ultimately, equal pay isn't just an economic issue for millions of Americans and their families. It's a question of who we are and whether we're truly living up to our fundamental ideals, whether we'll do our part as generations before us to ensure those words put on paper some 200 years ago really mean something, to breathe new life into them with a more enlightened understanding that is appropriate for our time.
It's rather fascinating that they're suggesting because of tough economic times, some businesses may only be able to survive if they can engage in discrimination. If they can carry out a business plan based upon discrimination, they may be able to survive. So women should underwrite that discriminatory policy and accept less. Well, let me tell you what it's like when you're trying to support a family. either as a dual wage earner or by yourself, and you're accepting less every week, every day, every hour for the work that you're doing, same as the people alongside of you, but you're getting less because you're a woman. Try that in this tough economic times. Try running your household in these tough economic times.
And now it's up to us to continue this work. This bill is an important step, a simple fix to ensure fundamental fairness for American workers. And I want to thank this remarkable and bipartisan group of legislators who worked so hard to get it passed. And I want to thank all the advocates who were in the audience who worked so hard to get it passed. This is only the beginning. I know that we stay focused, as Lilly did, and keep standing for what's right, as Lilly did. We will close that pay gap, and we will make sure that our daughters have the same rights, the same chances, and the same freedoms to pursue their dreams as our sons. So thank you, Lilly Ledbetter.